If you're waiting on your March Social Security deposit, there are a few important details you need to know right now. Not everyone gets paid on the same day. Some deposits can look a little different than expected, and there's growing confusion online about whether any kind of stimulus payment is tied to this month's benefits. For some people, the money hits on a Wednesday. For others, it arrives on the 3rd of the month. And SSI recipients can sometimes see deposits land very close together, which can look like two payments if you don't know the rule behind it. There's also one small but critical processing detail that explains why a payment can feel late even when it isn't. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through exactly how March deposits work, who gets paid when, what, if anything, changes this month, and what's actually confirmed versus rumored about stimulus talk. By the end of this update, you'll know what to expect and how to plan with confidence. Welcome back to Senior Security Benefits. I'm George, and my goal here is to help you make sense of Social Security in clear, straightforward language, without the rumors, without the panic, and without the complicated jargon. Whether you receive retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, or survivor benefits, March is a good month to review timing because deposit dates matter. For millions of households, these deposits aren't optional money. They pay for groceries, rent, prescriptions, utilities, and everyday bills. In this update, I'll explain the standard Wednesday schedule based on birth date, the special rule for people who started benefits before May 1997, how SSI timing works, including why deposits can bunch together, what deductions can make your payment look smaller, and what's really going on with the latest stimulus conversations. And later, I'll explain the most common reason people think a payment is missing when it's usually just a banking posting issue that catches retirees off guard. Let's start with the standard March payment schedule, because once you understand this structure, most of the confusion disappears. If you receive Social Security retirement benefits or Social Security disability insurance, your payment date is usually determined by your birth date, and it follows a consistent Wednesday rotation each month. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, your payment is issued on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is issued on the 3rd Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment is issued on the 4th Wednesday. That pattern repeats month after month, and unless there's a major holiday adjustment, it stays consistent. That consistency is intentional. It gives people a predictable rhythm so you can plan bills and automatic payments without guessing. Now, even when the date is correct, some people panic because the payment doesn't show up first thing in the morning. Here's the key detail. The Social Security Administration releases the payment on schedule, but your bank controls when it posts to your account. Some banks post right after midnight, some post early morning, some post later in the afternoon, and some credit unions post at different times than big national banks. So if your payment doesn't appear at 8 a.m., that doesn't automatically mean SSA didn't send it. Many missing deposit situations are really just a posting time difference from one bank to another. Everything I just explained applies to most recipients, but not everyone. There is a major exception that affects millions of people, especially longtime beneficiaries. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May of 1997, your payment typically does not follow the Wednesday birth date schedule. Instead, it is usually scheduled for the 3rd of the month. And if the 3rd falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the deposit is usually moved to the prior business day so you aren't left waiting. This older schedule exists because before the Wednesday system was introduced, SSA used a different timing structure. When the Wednesday schedule came in, many existing beneficiaries were left on the earlier timetable rather than being moved. This distinction becomes even more important if you receive both Social Security and SSI. In many dual entitlement situations, your Social Security portion may follow the 3rd of the month rule, while SSI follows its own separate calendar. When you don't know that, it can look random. But once you separate which program pays on which schedule, the pattern becomes much easier to track. The takeaway is simple. Most people follow the Wednesday schedule based on birth date, but many longtime beneficiaries, and some dual recipients, follow the 3rd of the month schedule instead. Now let's talk about SSI because this is where the most unnecessary stress happens. SSI does not follow the Wednesday birth date schedule at all. SSI is generally paid on the 1st of the month. But there's an adjustment rule. If the 1st falls on a weekend or federal holiday, SSI is paid on the last business day of the previous month. That adjustment is what creates the two payments close together effect. For example, if the first of a month lands on a Saturday, SSI often deposits on the Friday before, which is still the previous month on the calendar. Then the next month, SSI might deposit on the normal first, which can make it feel like you got paid twice in the same month or in a short window. It's not extra money, it's not a bonus, and it doesn't increase your yearly total. It's a timing shift designed so you aren't stuck waiting through a weekend or holiday. The risk is budgeting. If someone thinks the earlier deposit is extra, they might spend it and then feel short when the next month's schedule has a longer gap. Another timing detail that helps reduce confusion is this. Social Security retirement and SSDI benefits are typically paid 1 month behind. In other words, the deposit you receive in March usually represents the benefit for the prior month. That doesn't mean it's late, and it doesn't mean something is wrong. It's just how the program has processed monthly entitlement for decades. SSI is different. SSI is generally paid for the current month. Once you understand that, the calendar makes more sense and planning becomes easier. By this point, you should have clarity on 3 big pieces: the Wednesday birth date schedule, the third of the month rule for many longtime beneficiaries, and the first of the month SSI structure with the weekend holiday adjustment. That foundation alone eliminates most deposit date confusion. Now let's address another reason March payments can look different, even when the date is correct: deductions. One of the most common reasons a deposit looks smaller than expected has nothing to do with a missing payment. It's usually a deduction, most often Medicare premiums. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, your Part B premium is commonly deducted automatically from your Social Security benefit before the net amount is deposited into your account. That means what you see in your bank is not your gross benefit amount. It's your net amount after Medicare premiums. If Medicare premiums changed at the start of the year, those updated numbers are reflected in your deposit now. A lot of people remember the gross number they should be getting, but the bank deposit reflects the net number after deductions. Taxes can also affect the net deposit for some beneficiaries. Depending on your total income, such as a pension, wages, withdrawals, rental income, or investment income, some people owe federal income tax on a portion of their Social Security benefits. Some beneficiaries choose voluntary tax withholding so they don't get hit with a big tax bill later. If you elected withholding, that will reduce what you see deposited each month. March is right in the middle of tax season, which makes it a good time to verify whether you have withholding turned on and whether it still makes sense for your situation. The goal here isn't to create worry, it's to remove surprises. When you understand what's being deducted and why, the deposit amount usually becomes logical. For SSDI and survivor beneficiaries, the same general scheduling rules apply. SSDI follows the same Wednesday birth date schedule, unless you're in the group paid on the 3rd. Survivor benefits typically follow the same schedule structure as well. If your date is correct but the amount feels different, the cause is more often Medicare deductions or tax withholding than any change to your underlying benefit. Now let's address the question I'm seeing everywhere: stimulus payments. There has been a lot of online chatter suggesting that a stimulus is connected to March Social Security deposits. As of right now, regular Social Security and SSI deposits are paid according to the normal schedule and are not automatically linked to any new federal stimulus program. Any new stimulus-style payment would require formal approval and an official rollout. Until something is formally announced through credible government channels, you should treat claims of an automatic extra deposit with your Social Security as speculation. And here's something else that matters. Whenever stimulus talk heats up, scams spike. Fraudsters target seniors by claiming a payment is pending, and you must verify your information to receive it. The SSA and the IRS do not call, text, or email you demanding sensitive information to release benefits. They don't require gift cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or processing fees. If someone contacts you saying they can unlock or speed up a payment, treat it as a red flag and do not share personal information. Now, what should you do if your March payment doesn't show up when you expected? Step 1 is to stay calm and check the basics. The most common missing deposit situation is simply that your bank hasn't posted it yet. Check later the same day. If it's still not there, give it time, often up to 3 business days, before assuming something is wrong. If the deposit still hasn't posted after that window, contact your bank first, because they can often confirm whether a deposit is pending, delayed, or rejected for some reason. Only after confirming with your bank should you contact the Social Security Administration. This is also a great time to plan around your known deposit rhythm. If you know you're paid on the second Wednesday, schedule larger bills and automatic drafts a day or two after that deposit whenever possible. If you're paid on the third, plan around the third. If you're on SSI, plan around the first and remember the weekend/holiday shift. Small calendar-based planning reduces overdraft fees and prevents panic. The stress many retirees feel isn't just about money, it's about uncertainty. When you know your category and your timing, you regain control. As we wrap up, here are the key takeaways for March. If you receive retirement or SSDI, your payment is usually tied to your birth date Wednesday schedule. Second Wednesday for birthdays from the 1st through the 10th, third Wednesday for the 11th through the 20th, and fourth Wednesday for the 21st through the 31st. If you started benefits before May 1997, your payment is usually on the 3rd, or the prior business day if the 3rd is a weekend or holiday. SSI is usually paid on the 1st, but if the 1st falls on a weekend or holiday, SSI is paid the last business day of the previous month, which can create the illusion of two payments close together. If your deposit amount looks different than expected, check Medicare Part B deductions and any tax withholding before assuming there's a problem. And be cautious with stimulus rumors. Regular Social Security payments are on their normal schedule, unless there's an official verified program announced separately. Most importantly, stay organized and stay informed. Mark your payment dates, review your benefit letters, keep your banking information current, and never respond to unsolicited calls or messages asking for personal details. When you understand how the system works, you stop reacting in fear and start planning with confidence.